There's lots of maintenance items and last minute additions to the boat as we finally get off the dock in Charleston and heading south. We have some repairs and modifications to make, and then we raise some sails and get in some real sailing. We had spent the past week in Charleston, South Carolina, waiting on a weather window to head south. We were having trouble with our sink not draining, so I was exercising the through hole to see if maybe there was a clog in the through hole. It was not easy to get at, unfortunately.
No change opening the through hole, so I mean you can see it draining maybe slightly better than it was before, but it's still not going fast, so I gotta go back to the hardware store and get a longer snake. Well, I don't know what the clog is. I think I probably just pushed it all the way through, but now the sink is draining, and it's draining nice. Another to-do would be, I mean, when I first turned this inverter on, it sounded like a jet engine going off, so it was going bad. And then recently it started tripping the breaker off on the panel, so pulled it out. I bought another one on Amazon. And it's just a 12 volt like you would plug in your car cigarette lighter. I don't even call them cigarette lighters anymore. Nobody uses them for cigarettes, but I don't know, your 12 volt socket in your car. And so I'm just gonna hook up some adapters on here, plug it into the bus over here, and I'll have power. Hopefully that was all it was popping the breaker. I'm sure it was. And just FYI, it's the center, I mean, I had to look it up, so ask ChatGPT. The center part of the cigarette lighter adapter is positive, so I marked that one. So I know this is positive. I got like old man problems. I don't even know I really have no idea what I did to my wrist. It just started hurting really bad earlier. I really have no idea what I did. All right, and the inverter has power. So now I will unplug our Starlink that I had plugged into an extension cord across the way, so we still had internet. I'll plug this guy in, and we should be good to go. Power light's onto the Starlink, so should be good to go. All right, working on the air conditioner systems today. The salon AC wasn't working. It's just low on refrigerant. It uses R410A. So luckily the previous owner left a bottle of that. I think you can't like go pick that up at an auto parts store or something. You got to order it. But anyway, so the water temperature out there is about 60 degrees. So it wants low pressure to be 137. So on this air conditioner, it's got little gauges, and I had to get. Part of the reason I had to wait so long is because I had to order this stuff here so that I could hook up to it. So it's about 110 on the low pressure and about 4R10 on the high pressure gauge. So I need to add about another 20 PSI. So I will open this up, and you can see the little window there where the fluid's going across. And I'll just look at this here. All right, so we've got the reverse cycle going on, so the air coming out is nice and warm, so it should be working now. And then let me see how much this, probably got enough left in the bottle here for one more fill.
I had to pull up the carpet to get access to the engine room to check our fuel.
Mackenzie is on her way here, and we are going to set sail in about 3 hours. I got a lot of errands and a lot of stuff to do today, including I wanted to check on the fuel because I know it was just a little bit of, when I had the survey done right before we left, the surveyor said there was a little sludge in the ray cores, and I just checked it and there is quite a bit, so I'll show you that. You can see the bottom of that ray core has like a layer of sludgy looking water. This boat always had, so the previous owner says he has polished the fuel a few times and it probably needs it again. On these older boats with the older tanks, there's just crap that lives in those tanks and occasionally gets there. Plus he said there was a seal for one of the fuel fills that had gone bad and was probably letting water in the fuel tank. But I'm going to drain off that the sludge from the bottom, so the way that, you know, the water and that kind of stuff is heavier than diesel, so when it's pulled up into these fuel filters, kind of swirls around and heavier stuff sinks to the bottom, including the water and the sludge. I am going to drain that off and then make sure that both ray cores are topped off with diesel again, and then should be good to go. So, well, You can see you drain the bottom of the rate car, so it only put about that much water in there. So it looks like there's more water in there than there is, and then the top is fuel. So it was only maybe a cup of water at the bottom of that rate car. Now I just do the other side, and good to go. Now that I've got them drained, I'm gonna take the lid off, and I just wanna use the fuel boost pump to pump till fuel is back up to the very top of the filter, because I don't want any air in the system. I don't remember how this works. I think I gotta go like that guy there, is that it? I don't remember. So yeah, I got these little fuel pumps here, and it's refilling these with fuel. So I'll wait till I get to the top and then turn the pump off. Good to go. There we go. All right, they're full. Fuel system has been cleaned and drained or bled. Put the fuel back in it, so should be good to go. So the carpet is nice in here, but I mean, the floors are pretty. They need to be redone. Maybe you can see all the marks and stuff just everywhere. You know, just needs to be redone. In the meantime, the carpet's nice. The only thing I don't like about it is that if I got to get in the engine room, like in an emergency, like, I don't know, in an emergency, it's a bit of a chore to get this carpet out of the way. That was one of the main things I wanted to get done this morning. So now I'm gonna go do a little grocery shopping. I gotta stop by West Marine and, you know, do a few other things. So getting moving. Real quick, guys, want to let you know we are having a patron, channel member, and Sailing Doodles Navy meetup this Friday in Fort Pierce for happy hour. We'd love to see you there. If you are a member of one of those groups, you should have already received an invitation. If you're not, sign up now, become a Sailing Doodles Navy member. Go to sailingdoodles.podia.com, become a Sailing Doodles Navy member, and we'll see you this Friday. Meet the dogs. So looking forward to it. Fort Pierce in Florida. Doing some last minute preps to get ready to go here, and one upgrade I'm making to the boat is I'm putting new anchors on it, or at least one. So the anchors that are on there are kind of fugly, especially the primary anchor is really rusted and kind of gross looking. Probably best to upgrade to the newest technology. So when I was at the Miami Boat Show a couple days ago, Mantis Marine gave me one of their 105-pound anchors. So I'm gonna unbox this thing. Probably not gonna hook it up today, but I need to get it on board. And it's 105 pounds, so it's a big heavy-duty beast. But it comes in two pieces. And the cool thing is, I'll show you the clip from the boat show. It kind of, any way you put it, it'll kind of roll itself over, so it's nice. And it's just one bolt that connects these together. It's a big heavy-duty bolt, but that way it's a little easier to fold up and put away, like if you need to store it for a period of time. All right, it took longer than I anticipated to get all the rental car stuff done and all that, but time to start the engines, let it warm up. I'm gonna let the, engine warm up for a while since I, messed with the fuel. One thing I don't like on this boat is how loud the low oil pressure warning is on this. I mean, it's just ear splitting, and I can't even hear the motor start when I do it. So it's kind of annoying, but here you go. I have to cover it with my hand. I think the engine start battery's a little weak because it's not really spinning fast. Let's try it again. Yeah.
What is that noise?
That is the low oil pressure warning. All right, I'm gonna let the engines run for about 20 minutes here to make sure everything's good. Say hello to Mackenzie.
Hi.
So you're from Charleston. Oh yeah, thank you. You're from Charleston. How was it?
It's nice being back for a little bit.
Yeah, so today we are gonna sail from Charleston down to St Augustine. Take about 30 hours or so. It's a little over 200 miles. And yeah, that's the plan anyway. And it should be downwind. We hope to sail today, but then this afternoon the wind drops off, we'll have to motor, but we'll see what happens. So letting the engines warm up right now, and then I'm gonna get all the engine or the instrumentation on everything, and we'll get moving. You guys ready? What's he got? Plastic?
Ew! I don't know, but I don't want it.
All right. All right. Well, the wind's blowing us off the dock pretty gently. Everything's running, so let's start working on the lines, and we'll get out of here.
Come on, lift your head. Get out your frozen state. You started to look like Otita. Come on, we've been there.
The autopilot worked. I saw it move the rudder, and then it wouldn't move the rudder back the other way. So it's not working currently. I'm gonna get out and it's not as congested in here, and then I'll go bang on it with a hammer so I can get it to work. Took a little back and forth there. I had her on the phone. I had Mackenzie on the phone while I was downstairs banging on it with a hammer, or the mallet, but it didn't want to come on at first. Took a few different tries. I reset everything and it came back on. So we just got to monitor it, make sure it doesn't kick off when we're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So, but
good news.
yeah, so far it's working. Definitely need to replace that pump now. I was hoping maybe just a one-time thing, but if it's doing this now, it's going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, and once it warms up low, it should be, you know, it got cold again last night down into the 30s, so it might have just got real cold. Well, we had the autopilot working for a minute and then it kicked off, so I've reset the breaker on it. What I'm going to do now, what I've done now, is I put a space heater in, because the autopilot, the motor was really cold because it got down to like 35 degrees last night. So I'm sure it might have been really cold. So I have put a space heater in this engine bay with it to warm it up, or in the rudder bay. Maybe the brushless will want to play ball a little better when they're warm. But that definitely tells me I need to replace this pump like now. I was really hopeful it was going to work. Somehow I didn't hit record. So I called Mackenzie on the phone and then had her turn it on while I was tapping it. Got the space heater running in here. Seems to be working. We'll see. All right, so far so good on the autopilot. Seems to be holding its heading just fine. The bad news is there's no wind. It's 2 knots of wind. So, I mean, it was supposed to die off this afternoon, but I don't think it'd be that much. It's supposed to be like 12 to 15 this morning and then dying off through the afternoon, but now it's 2.9 knots. So, we'll see how it goes. There wasn't any wind, but it was great conditions for motoring south and smooth seas.
You started to look like old cedar. Come on, we've been there. Show me you walk on water, and I get a little bit closer to.
Being an older boat, she sure does require a lot of maintenance, but she looks beautiful out on the water. So while it's nice and calm out here, I might as well work on the boat. There's no wind, there's 3 knots of wind. So this is the old GPS. The screen doesn't really work anymore. It's kind of crappy and hard to use. It's, you know, you see the screen, it's just old, right? So I pulled that out. The problem is that the new one I got, even though the screen is, I mean, maybe even slightly bigger on the new B&G, the hole itself is a lot smaller, you know, just an advance in technology. So I got some starboard here and I measured it out. I'm going to cut this and then cut out a center for this part and then mount that on there. You can't ever find black starboard, like not the thin stuff anyway, so I've just got this white stuff and I'm going to cut it out and then I'll spray paint it or something. The cockpit is not an ideal place to saw, but it was about the only place I could do it. I made the cutouts and I was ready to install the new chart plotter. The conditions were still very calm as the sun set. Alright, it's been a nice day here. Nice and calm. There's like no wind out there, so the sun's about to set. It should be a pretty one. We're going pretty fast. We're doing like 8.5 knots. I think we got some current with us. So you got the Gulf Stream that comes way offshore, about 30 miles, 40 miles, probably more than that actually out here offshore. And then you have these little eddies that kind of swirl in behind it. So I think we've been in one of those eddies for a long time. So we're doing pretty fast. Heading down, so we're making good speed. We got like 160 miles to go. Is that right? Somehow my chart plotter changed itself to statute miles, so we actually had less than 140 miles to go.
What is God?
From sunset to sunrise, we had a good night sailing south on the Atlantic Ocean. It's kind of odd to see just a single dolphin, but he came by to say hello. The wind has been like light and straight behind us this morning and kind of since middle of the night, but it has shifted a little bit more off our starboard quarter now, and it's picked up to about 12 knots. We only have like 12 miles to go, so I'm not going to bother turning around and putting up the main and all that. Plus it's be straight downwind and be blocking out, but I am going to put the head sail out. So put that out, and then I can maybe back off on the engine a little, make it a little quieter in here. We'll get some sailing in. And Mackenzie is sleeping because she had the morning shift. Make sure nothing's gonna get tangled here. This guy is fine. Now we got half a dog. I wish they would have just left that on there.
Why did they take it off?
I don't know. Oh well. It was kind of a bummer that our logos were gone, but our precision sails were holding up nicely. They were a little over 5 years old at this point. I've used precision sails on all my boats. If you'd like more information about precision sails, check the link in the description. As we approached St. Augustine, it was time to roll in the Genoa. I almost made a major mistake pulling into St. Augustine. I'm gonna have to work on this chart plotter. I really don't like this because it's not showing depth shading until, so I have to zoom into a 0.2 mile scale to get depth shading, because look, so right here it's 0.2 on this side. I don't know if you can see that. And then if I zoom just a little bit out, well, all right, so if I zoom out to half mile scale, all that shading goes away. So I was just coming in here dumb and happy and didn't even notice it. Thankfully it was high tide. That's just crap. I mean, because I had it zoomed out here and I was like, oh, there's shading there. No, that's just, oh man. St. Augustine Municipal Marina, St. Augustine Municipal Marina. It's Naughty Dogs 16.
Naughty Dogs, switch to 71.
71, Roger.
Your slip's going to be a stern in, starboard side tie. Make sure you have fenders to the water line. I'll give you the slip number and directions when you're through the bridge.
All right, Roger that. Stern in, starboard side tie, fenders to the water line, and we'll call you back when we get through the bridge.
Fear today, forgot tomorrow. Beside the news of holy war.
And 16 out there, but I think it's pretty much straight down the slip, so it should be all right. On a larger monohull, you use a combination of steering and your bow thruster to help guide you into your slip. If you've stuck around this long in the video, please make sure to click that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And we'd love to see you this Friday in Fort Pierce. Join the Sailing Doodles Navy for more information on the meetup.
All right, well, made that look easy.